Hello everyone, welcome back. Sorry for the lack of videos in the last week or two, but I've been enjoying the games I've got, and I decided to skip Evil Within and wait for this, Lords of the Fallen. Now, this is a PC review, not a PS4 review, because in the run-up to this game coming out, I heard that the PS4 had some problems with frame rate, and also I could get it for half the price on PC. So yes, I'm a cheapskate, I'm Scottish, so the cheaper the better. Anyway, let's get into the review. Lords of the Fallen is a dark fantasy action RPG game from the relatively unknown developer of CI Games, which is a Polish developer who have created some games before but have not really been worth a mention up until now. I say up until now because Lords of the Fallen, in my opinion, is a very solid game. Well, at least on the PC it is. I run a mid-range PC with a Intel i5 processor and a Nvidia 660 Ti with 16 gigs of RAM, sorry. So by no means is it a beast, but I was able to play this game with virtually everything maxed out, and although YouTube will only show it at 30 frames per second, I was getting mainly between 45 and 60 frames per second constantly, even during the heavy action. And it's in the action that this game excels. It's not going to win any awards for story. In fact, I found the main character to be boring and pretty bland knucklehead. I won't go into the story too much, but basically he was a prisoner and he now has to destroy the Lords of the Fallen after being released. So you have to go through different areas to find these Lords of the Fallen and kill them. So like I say, the story's not going to win any awards and the voice acting isn't going to win any awards. The gameplay, on the other hand, is fantastic. It is purposeful, it's meaty. The combat really feels as though it packs a punch. When you hit an enemy, you can feel your sword really sinking into their skin and doing the damage. And the same goes at the other end. If an enemy hits you, you really feel the clunk of the sword or of the fist hitting you and knocking you back. There are light and heavy attacks which use up stamina or energy. As you go through the game, you will be able to upgrade your character and get more health, more stamina, and more magic for using magical spells. You gain experience from every enemy that you kill, and a clever aspect or a clever gameplay element that they've incorporated into this game is that as you kill enemies successfully, you build a combo multiplier which increases your experience. If you don't save and spend this experience, the longer you go without dying, the more the combo will build up and the more experience you'll get from the next enemy you kill. So for example, if I kill 2 enemies and then go and kill another enemy, I will get more experience than if I killed 2 enemies, then used that experience and then went and killed another enemy. It's hard to explain without really playing the game, but it's a very unique idea and it adds to the risk-reward factor. In terms of customization, there's very little at the beginning of the game. You choose what class you want to go, whether it is a mage, a heavy, or a kind of rogue character with faster attacks but lighter armor and weapons. You then choose your magical style, which can be from the very attacking magical style, which increases your attack and area of effect bonuses, something blue style, which is to do with healing and buffing your character. And apart from that, there's very little customization, so those thinking that they can go into it creating a Skyrim level character with face customization and different background stories and everything like that will be disappointed, because you play one character and everyone plays the same character. I chose to go a heavy character with heavy armour and slow hitting attacks, which means that your roll and evasion are very, very slow, so timing is key to getting away from some of the enemy's very damaging attacks. But it also means that from the likes of these little enemies, they do very little damage to you, and you can kind of tank your way through them to a degree, although this is still a challenging game, and if you just go in head first without any thought, then you will get killed. A piece of advice when playing this game as well, you have to play it with a controller. Most 3D action games like this require a controller to play because the dexterity and the movement just can't be used on the keyboard and mouse well. That is a personal opinion, but I can't play these kinds of games without a controller, so I used an Xbox 360 controller for my playthrough. The graphics are very solid on PC anyway. The texture detail, lighting detail and environments are all very impressive. If a little devoid of imagination, it is your standard fantasy romp. Very Diablo actually, I felt, especially the menus. But functional, the menus are very easy to navigate and quite nice to look at. The music as well is decent and will ramp up when you're fighting a boss, which creates suitable atmosphere and very exciting opponents sometimes. I'm only showing you the beginning of the game in this video because I don't want to spoil anything, and I think everyone will have seen this boss coming up, so I hope I haven't spoiled anything, but this is the first boss you come up against. One complaint as well I would have is that there are perhaps too many human-esque enemies and not enough imagination like in the graphics of the surrounding areas. They're very good, very solid design, but maybe just lacking a little bit of imagination, which I would have liked to see a bit more variety in the game. So I would fully recommend Lords of the Fallen, actually, if you like these kinds of games. The story's not going to win any awards and it's not particularly strong, but the gameplay and the graphics and the length of the game are all strong points, and I think if you like action RPGs then you'll really enjoy this. And just goes to show you, you can do a review of Lords of the Fallen without mentioning Dark Souls once. Oh, damn it!